planet Dolan.
From the unhappiest place on Earth to demoralizing dollar stores, here's a list of 8 companies that treat their employees like dirt. Number 8. Dillards. At Dillards department stores, overworked and underpaid are common complaints from the staff. Apparently, the problem stems from management dishing out tasks that are impossible to complete in the allotted time. Understaffed and undertrained employees say the atmosphere is thick with anxiety and tension. They're also given sales targets that are impossible to meet. It's like dangling a carrot in front of a horse, except unlike the horse, you won't get shot if you break your leg. Though you might wish somebody would. In addition to being spoken down to and belittled, staff said managers were always looking over the shoulders of their pleb employees. Number 7. Starbucks employees reported having to work shifts with only a few hours between closing and opening the store the next morning. And with management breathing down their necks, a lot of employees feel like they can't take a sick day in case they get fired or they lose their hours. So instead, they're sneezing in your Frappuccino, sharing around that influenza goodness. Yummy. The pay is crappuccino, and so are the hours, but at least there's the loyal customer base that makes the job easier. Just kidding. These are the same breed of people that freak the sniz out when a coffee chain changed their Christmas cups. Being scolded is never fun. Not by some douchebag's pumpkin spice and not by your boss. So it's no wonder these workers are a bit depresso espresso. Number 6. Walmart is notorious for paying their workers pretty shabbily and paying them as little as possible. Very little training, unsafe work conditions, and unrealistic expectations on their workers? Where do I sign up? Even though the higher-ups finally gave some of their workers a pay rise last year, each store actually costs the government $1 million in food stamps and financial assistance every year. That's for each store. And with more than 5,000 stores, it kinda adds up. Good thing the US government has an endless supply of money to go around. Oh, wait, they probably don't. Also, apparently as soon as you're injured in the workplace, management makes you get drug tested, even if the injury was because of the crappy working conditions. I guess even management knows that you have to be high to want to work at Walmart. Number 5. Target. The slightly fancier version of Walmart, Target is guilty of the same brand of douchebaggery as Walmart, just with different priorities. One employee said that their unofficial motto is, expect more work, get paid less. The ridiculously anti-union company even forces staff to endure training days that consist entirely of watching propaganda videos about the big bad unions. Propaganda galore. Anti-union sentiments are one thing, but outright propaganda is pretty messed up. In 2011, one store got close to unionizing, so they quickly shut down the store for 7 months for remodeling, forcing the store's employees to go on unpaid leave. Geez, even Captain Kirk didn't treat the red shirts this badly. Number 4. Microsoft. Up until recently, Microsoft had some pretty whacked out hiring and firing policies. They used a system called stack ranking, where each department ranks their employees from best to worst, and then get rid of the worst ones. This created a den of paranoia and tension that meant staff spent more time worrying about their jobs than actually working, not to mention all the backstabbing and office politics. While the company has since abandoned some of their cutthroat firing procedures, it hasn't done much more for morale. It's like House of Cards, except everybody is miserable. Oh, wait. Never mind. Number 3. Amazon is yet another company guilty of the cutthroat atmosphere with excruciating hours that are becoming part of the deal in the working world. There's the corporate espionage and staff contact hours that amount to stalking. Employees could expect emails well past midnight, and then abusive text messages berating them for not replying sooner. God forbid you have a life outside of work or you just want to binge watch Netflix without your phone glued to your hand. They like to call it purposeful Darwinism, to weed out the weak, but really it sounds more like sharks in a kiddie pool, unnecessarily frightening and pointless. If fear made people work better, don't you think more characters in horror movies would survive? Think about it. Number 2. Disneyland Paris. You heard right, so much for the happiest place on Earth. Just don't expect to be happy if you're stuck working there. There are rumors that employees were calling the park Mausewitz because their working conditions were similar to a concentration camp. When they were told by management to stop, they started calling it Dachau instead. The morale problem got even worse when in recent years a number of employees committed suicide while another doused himself in gasoline at the park and tried to set himself on fire. Talk about a morale problem. Their rate of staff injuries is ridiculous. There are roughly 1,500 there per year, which is higher than if they were working in construction. Maybe Disneyland employees should be the ones in hard hats. They could even sell them at gift shops, with Mickey Mouse ears on them along with Mickey Mouse brand Prozac. Number 1. Family Dollar, Dollar General, Dollar Tree. This one is a threefer because they're all guilty of the same dodgy treatment of workers. These dollar stores have found a great way to exploit their workers, by promoting them. You heard right, folks, they promote staff to management positions so they'll be on salary and will no longer be entitled to overtime. A lot of these managers are actually poorer than they had been before. High stress, low pay, it's the new black. The stores only have a skeleton crew, so they're forced to do a lot of the grunt work themselves, and if they fail to make up the difference, they're fired for not being team players. And same goes if you get injured lifting 40-pound boxes. Lawsuits are rife with these stories too. Last year, 14 of the ex-managers sued the company for forcing their employees to mop floors and stack shelves more than 60 hours a week. One employee was even forced to sleep at the store for 3 nights. Oh well, at least they sell quality goods. I'd buy that for $1. Actually, no, I wouldn't. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Did you enjoy the video? That's fantastic! Did you know we still have a gaming channel? Collaborative. It's for Planet Dolan. Come look at us as we play some video games.
Like animation? Have some questions about life in the universe you need answered? Come check out Super Planet Dolan. Danger Dolan and I will answer your life questions. Links are down below.